The MFL Marmac boys track team going to be busy at this week's state boys track meet with multiple events competing. Kyle Kirkestue is the head coach of the Bulldog boys. And coach, it's been a pretty solid season for you guys. What's made this a special group?
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like these guys they're a really young group, and they've been pretty inexperienced, and going into the season, they just wanted to go out there, have fun, and compete. And after a couple meets, we're realizing, man, this is a pretty special group that we got here, and that these guys can do something pretty special for us. And so far they have. We've qualified in 5 events this year for this year's state meet.
And a lot has to do with speed. I know Carter Decker has the 5th best time, the 800. Cullen McShane with the 8th best time. Both those guys part of that sprint medley relay. Is it just a case of taking advantage of the assets that you have, because you obviously have some pretty quick kids?
Yeah, it's definitely taking great advantage of what we have. All the athletes that I have out this year are very key contributors to our success this year. Yeah, we don't have that many kids, but we got the right kids out. And I will say there are a couple kids still kind of roaming around the halls here at MFL Marmac that could still come back out next year and have a great impact for our track team.
How did you have to do anything maybe differently at the beginning of the year, knowing the fact that these student athletes didn't have a season last year? How did you have to manage that, getting them back into track mode?
Really just kind of putting them in different events, try and see what they're good at, see where we need the most work to improve on. So kind of early in the season, it was kind of a lot of question marks. Like, I don't know what guys are going to be in what relay. So I just was kind of experimenting early on. And then once we figured that out, then we kind of just hit the ground running, and it was just full steam ahead at that point.
And when you get a little bit of success like you've had in a lot of meets this year, is it just a case of the ball gets rolling in the right direction and confidence gets built, and you get to the point where you're at right now?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, once that ball gets rolling, you get a little bit of that swagger, and just having that swagger throughout the season, and knowing, hey, we're a pretty legit team, but we got to try and stay humble as well. I mean, knowing that, hey, we got something good going here. And the guys, they come to practice every day, willing to work and wanting to get better. So,
and you talk about staying humble. Is a part of that staying hungry as well, knowing the fact that now you're at the Big Blue Oval, and this is your time to shine?
Yeah, those guys, they are kind of chomping at the bit. They want to get down there. I've been really hyping them up all week, saying that there's just some sort of magic in that blue oval down there. I told them that when they get down there, they're going to find a different gear than what they know that they have. I mean, there's just something magical about it. It just makes you run just that much faster down there.
And we've talked about your running events. We can't forego Jacobtrudeau in the shot put. He's qualified as well. What's made it a successful season for him?
Jacob, I am extremely proud of him. He's the guy that he stuck it out. He didn't come out his junior season, and of course COVID canceled that. But he's just a guy that has worked extremely hard these last 4 years. For him to be able to end on such a high note like this, it's really great for him. He just has a great work ethic. He is always asking me, what can I do to get better? How am I doing at this, and so on. And I just really admire him for that. And I'm really happy that he's ending his career down at Des Moines.
And as for the practice and training this week, as you prepare for the state meet, where's the balance of keeping the kids excited for the opportunity to run at the state meet, but at the same time making it a controlled situation this week? Where's that happy medium?
Right now, I'm trying to keep those guys planted on the track, trying not to change up the routine too much. I mean, it's going to be a little bit lighter, trying to want to keep their legs a little bit more fresh than normal. And right now, it's just kind of hammering out the details with our handoffs, really focusing on our block starts with Cullen and Carter, since they'll be running open events on that Thursday. And those two guys, they have a great opportunity to try and get to the finals and get a medal.
And when you look at the way they've got the meet structured this year, as a 1A school, to me, you're kind of running a track meet at about the same time you usually run a track meet. Is there an advantage to that mentally?
I think so, because you're not running in the morning, and then when it starts to get hot, the sun's starting to kind of go down. So you're in like the same environment as you would a normal track meet. So I think that is a pretty big advantage for us. And then also the way that Carter's running his events, he starts out in the 200, and then he'll go and run the 1 and then the 4. So usually he would run the 1, 4, and then the 2. So it's kind of reversed for him. So I think that's going to help him quite a bit.
All right, Coach, congrats on a great season to this point. Hopefully it gets even greater with some medal performances down in Des Moines. We wish you best of luck.
Yep. Thank you, Darren.
Kyle Kirkestue, the head boys track coach at MFL Marmac.